Hello and welcome to Mainichi Japan Vid. Today we're going to talk about job hunting in Japan. It's different, at least compared to my country. I don't know how it works in your country. In my country, you would have to graduate first. Graduate, yeah, get your diploma, and then you start looking for a job. How is this a diploma? Let's make this like graduate. Yay, graduate. Now I'm unemployed. Okay, then you start looking for your job and then you start applying. In Japan, no way, Jose. You graduate, you already have a job lined up. I mean, most of the time. So you would uh, start looking for a job in the last year of university. And this can be either your fourth year or your second year of master, right? And if you go to like doctor, then your third year of doctorate. So doctorate. It's basically this is what undergrad. Okay. Ooh, undergrad. So it can be either fourth year of undergrad, second year of master, third year of doctorate, and this would depend on your, especially what you're studying. I think what they call bunke or like more closer to social science, humanitaries. What is it called? Humanitaries, I guess. And this is like hard sciences, like natural science, natural science. So if you're like in social science, if you're in literature, oh, if you're in economy, if you're studying uh, uh, other things, you would probably look for a job on your fourth year. So last year of your undergrad. If you're in like sciences in, what's it called? Say engineering, other kind of sciences, like anyway, I'm not sure what example to give, but you would usually would like go to master. It's kind of like a given to go to master, and then you'd look for a job on your second year of master. And there's nothing against, like, even if you're in natural science, you can start looking here. Even if you're in social science or humanities, you can start looking here in the second year of master. So there's nothing against it. And you can also go to doctorate. But what I've heard from my friend that usually like bunke or like, well, social sciences would be like on fourth year, and most RK, natural sciences, by default, most people would go to master. But this would also then depend on the university. If you're like in a good university, I think you would go to master. If you're in a like just normal university, you might look already. You just actually want to work, right? You're not that into studying. At least my friends were like in the normalish, I guess, university. Most of them did not go to master. They just started looking for their job on their fourth year, despite, I believe, having uh, decay education, right? The natural science or leaning to natural science. Anyway, and engineering, not just science, but engineering and also engineering. So that's when you would look for it. And I'm not talking at the end. I'm talking at the beginning, even like the tail end of your third year. So in Japan, a school year start in April. So in April, you'd be in fourth year. When do you start job hunting? Depends on how you define it, but you would start in February of your third year, kind of. February to January. But I believe February. It was like October of the third year, and then the government pushed against it. But now I've heard like it's starting to be even faster again. So when I was there, to start in January, February, and but you could argue that as soon as your second year, because in your second year you can look for internships, which basically qualified as job hunting because it does give you an advantage, and you are learning about the companies, right? So it's around like, depending on your definition then, right? Do you define internship as job hunting? And not everyone does internship either. So it's like not most everyone do it. Here, the January February thing, everyone kind of do it. I'm talking in the people who do it in fourth year. So if this was master, it would be like end of your second year, first year, start of your second year. But let's talk about it in terms of third and fourth year of undergraduate. Now, January, February, what are you doing here? Like you're graduating still a year in the future, right? Usually you would go to like seminars. Uh, so this would be like job seminars, which are huge. You would get like, I don't know, hundreds. I've never been to one. Ashamed to admit, should have went, even though I was never interested in job hunting. Should have just went, for the ambience so that I can know. I didn't know I was gonna make content on Japan. So yeah. Anyway, you go to seminars. What what's there? It's like a bunch of company introducing their companies, and they're like, yeah, this is what we do. The bigger company might even get like some time on like some stage. They might give actual presentation. Some just have booth. This is just from what I've seen in TV and what I've heard from friends. So don't quote me on that. But it's like huge job fairs. If you've heard that term before, here we do call them job fairs. But yeah, and you would just go to the booths, look at companies that are interesting to you, and then they tell you what they're looking in for new hires, right? They're looking in new hires. They're looking for in new hires. English. And so, for example, like certain, I don't know, GPA, certain like qualification, we need master, we need non-masters, I don't know. But like you can ask questions like, and you can also ask like, what's the kind of the company culture and stuff like that. And sometime if some OB and OG would also come to your school, I think this would be around this time frame. I'm not exactly sure. OB and OG are like old girl and old boy, opposite old boy and old girls, which are like alumni basically. I don't know why they call them OB and OG. Uh, Old boy and old girls will come and tell you about the company they're working in, and this is like also a very good occasion because they're gonna be like more honest with you. They're gonna talk like if you go usually after the presentation, the, not usually, I've heard that sometimes you get a chance to go and drink with them, and then they might be even more honest, right? Like, yeah, I mean, the boss not that great. Like you would know a bit. They might spill some beans, right? But yeah, this is January, February. I'm not exactly sure whether it begins in March or in April, but then you start the first step of applying, which is applying, sending the files. What is it called? The when you send your CV, your motivation essay, and everything, and sometimes motivation letter, right? And sometimes they also get you to do some test. There's a name for the test. I don't remember though. There's like a kind of test that they get people to do to get, I guess, to know how good the job seeker are. And most of this is like done online. And what's document, right? The document application. Mhm. And then if you're accepted here, you get a second, and then a third, and then a fourth, and it can extend up to the sixth test. I think four is kind of standard, counting the application, the document application. But you would not apply to only one company. So during the seminar, find as many companies you can. I had a friend who only applied to three companies. He got rejected by all of them, and he ended up have to do the job hunting around September, which is kind of like secondary job hunting. So I don't know if he got into a good company in the end. He did get somewhere in the end, but yeah, he didn't apply enough. You need to apply to, I don't know what's the norm now. My friend in the past, they said like six company at least. You need to apply to six company, and I guess like you need also to vary like the one you really want to go in, and like the kind of the safe option. And you apply to them all at the same time. You do all this, the first one for everything, and then you'll get accepted by some. You won't get accepted by some. You go on to the second one, and this depends based on the company, right? It's really different, but most of my friend told me that the second one would be like FGDs. And so you would be like kind of interview, but in groups. They would tell you to do things. They would give you problems. They would like take notes on how you're interacting with other people. So FGD kind of stuff. Uh, for forum group discussions. So they would split you in groups, and then they would tell you, okay, here's a problem, solve this, right? Or here's this thing, we want to know your opinion about that. And then they'd be silently observing from the side. So I've heard that most of the time the second one is that. I don't know if it's changed or if I was lied to. I have no way to confirm. I'm sorry. The third one, that's when you get to the interview. So you get interview, you get actual interviewed. Uh, and yeah, so it's usually a few people get. Okay, I'm gonna erase that, erase of this. So you would get like uh what's my second, like four, three, four people interviewing you, and then you would come and sit on chairs, but it would be like usually more than one person as far as I know, so it's not just one. They would just like ask you like question one by one, tat, 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 and then yeah, interview. And then, so this is like the third step, and then the fourth step is sometime also an interview again. Uh, but this time, like the CEO would come or something. This is what I've heard. It might also add a third step. I don't know. But yeah. So first step is like interview with CEO, depending on the company. I'm sure. Like FGD, they might also have more than one. Like depending on the company. But yeah. So you would have an interview here. Third one, they'll be talking to you. You'll be answering them. And I've heard, I don't know if it's after the third or the fourth, they might ask you to go and drink together. Like, oh, good work on the interview. Maybe the fourth makes more sense. And this is obviously not every company, right? They get you, okay. Some senior would be like, let's have a drink. And this is kind of like they're also judging you actually. This is a good time for you to like try to get more info on the company in a more casual setting, but they're also judging you, I believe. So yeah, there's that, and then finally you would be accepted. Now, since you're like test taking, applying to like many companies, you might be accepted by more than one company. One, two, three, right? For example, I had a friend who's accepted by two companies. Wow, two companies. What should I do? Well, you need to choose one. And the system is well established for that because they have contract signing ceremony in October. So October, early October. I don't know exactly when. I guess it's Monday or something. But basically, as far as I know, every big company has the contract signing on the same day. Uh, Naiteishiki, it's called. Naiteishiki. And it's early October. And it's all in the same time. So you cannot come to both. So this is like the latest is like, I think you probably have to like confirm, right, if you're gonna come or not. So it's by the confirmation. So it's probably around September that you need to confirm if you're gonna, which night Ashiki you're gonna go to. And so this is kind of good for the company, so they like would know already like how many people would come when the people start working in April, because a school year start in April. Also, so does the work year start in April in general, of obviously many exceptions. But like for big companies, this is when it starts. Yeah. And yeah, and you would come to the night Ishiki. Everyone goes with their suit and then they sign. And then, yes, you're officially employed, I believe. I mean, you still need to graduate on time. But yeah, so they do it actually during their last year, either fourth year or second year of master, or yeah, third year if you're doctorate who's going into the industry instead of just taking the academic route. And that's how it works. And it's amazing. It's interesting. Most people then just graduate already having jobs. Different with here, my country, we graduate without jobs. I mean, some people can get jobs, but yeah. Um, Mostly we graduate unemployed and then we look for jobs. And that's how it is, but not in Japan. And I've heard other countries also have something similar to Japan. I don't know which countries those are, but in Japan, you don't graduate without a job. Uh, I mean, I that was a big video. If you like it, I guess thumbs up, sure. I don't know, I don't care. See you in the next video.